Welcome everyone, it's Evelyn from Twin Flames 3344. I have a Divine Masculine Twin Flame read in front of you. Please stay tuned. It's a really cool read today. I'm going to clear really quickly here. Today is February 12th, 2020. Very interesting read today, guys. The energy is very different today. I woke up this morning and then I fell back to sleep and I woke up again remembering the dream that I dreamed, which I don't often. And in my dream there was two people that I knew from working at University of Penn. I was at University of Penn Hospital for 25 years. But anyway, two people came into my dream. One was a person whose birthday was the same as my twins, and the other one was a girl I knew that I was friends with and I worked with a lot there. I'm not sure of the connection there yet, but I guess I'll figure it out. So it was very interesting. It was very sweet and peaceful, loving energy. And it was about no pretenses and no expectations and just love and acceptance. It was just really beautiful, loving energy. Like there was no insecurity there. It was just love. Was there something else? Oh yeah, I wanted to bring up now wounds. Now physical wounds are coming up from your childhood. So look back to your childhood, remembering all the things that happened to you. Like, you know, it was funny because I was listening to something and someone was talking about getting their fingers caught in the door, and I remembered that I got my hand smashed in the door too, and I actually fell out of the car once. We didn't use seatbelts way back when I was growing up, and my mom would just shove as many kids in the car as possible, and I fell out of the car once, and also I did gymnastics, and I remember practicing in the basement once, and I did a back handspring, and I fell on my head, and I sprained my neck, which nobody ever said I sprained my neck, but I did. It was the weirdest feeling ever. But just things like that. And then in gymnastics, you hurt yourself all the time. So there's wounds that you need to go back and clear because some of them were very traumatic to you. So those were coming up. I also and also illnesses, because like I didn't even know I was really ill at age 6 until my mother told me. They were really worried about me, that I might die, because I was, I had GI issues and I wasn't keeping anything in my body for like a week. But it's interesting at 6 because that would be the year that my twin was born. So very interesting, huh? And then when I haven't been turning my sand art this year much, but I did last night for some reason. And just some animal transformations came up. So I wanted to share that with you. Where did I put that? That was, yeah, it was on like whale energy, the one prior to that. And as I turned the sand art, I was getting an elephant right away, then a dinosaur, but the herbivore, right? The one with the little head. The really tall one with the little head. That dinosaur came up, and then it turned into a camel, and then it morphed into a polar bear, and then the polar bear morphed into the bridge, into the mountain. It was really beautiful. That became the bridge. So it was going from like the fire into the coolness. It was like going back and forth, right? Because we have the elephant and the dinosaur, and then the camel's out in the desert, and then the polar bear, which would be really cold. So hot and cold energies, and that goes along with the theme of the read at the end as well. So stay tuned. All right. I was definitely sweating on and off during this read. So for me, there's a lot of masculine energy coming up when I start sweating. All right. So it is February 12th, 2020. The 12 is the hangman. It's about hanging out, seeing different perspectives, being wise, perhaps getting hung out to dry. The day adds up to the 18, which is the moon. So we have the hangman, which is a 3, the 12, 3, and the 18, which is a 9. The 3 being about self-expression, coming together with others, being in joy, happy-go-lucky. All of those energies could be siblings as well. And then the 9 and the 18 have to do with endings and compassion, universal selflessness, the collective consciousness. And the third energy as well, I'm getting now, between the 3 and the 18. Right? Because it's the false light, and the 3 is the third energy, the instigator, right? The third piece that pushes you to create something new, to go from the 2 to the 3 to the 4. So we have those energies of the day. And actually, the person I was dreaming about at work, when I was first on the journey getting some of my codes and messages, was actually someone I sent a medical message to, because I felt like they may be able to connect to it in some way for some kind of cure or something, that maybe down the road when they're not finding something, they're going to remember that I gave that to them. So something about that was coming up again now, because I had that dream with that person. And then the clock turned, I saw it turn twice today, from the 29 to the 30. 29 being the 3 of Wands, and then the 4 of Wands, the 3 of Wands being present, and that the present moment is the gift, and then moving to the 30, which is union, and also the 4th leg, right? So we go from the 3 to the 4. And I always talk about that with the batons, you know, passing the 3rd baton, going from the 3rd to the 4th leg of the relay race, to either move from the Y in the road and go forward, or drop it all and start over again. So for this read in front of you, which was done, the SIRIAN Starseed deck, the main deck was cut and dealt right at 10 o'clock to 10:01. So there's a lot of source energy and magician energy, and a turn for the better with the Wheel of Fortune. And then I finished the read. I started sweating at 10:25, which is the Wheel of Fortune and the Knight of Wands. And the Knight of Wands definitely can make you sweat, right? And then I finished the cards at 10:26, so 10:25 to 10:26. And that's a lot of fiery, young, fiery energy, right? The Knight and the Pages of Wands. So that's where we start the read, at the page, the Knight and the Page of Wands, and a turn for the better. The major arcana were transition, reflection, and guidance. Transition's like the Death card, reflection like the Hermit, and guidance is like the Hierophant. And then after the read, strength and indigo also came up, and indigo's like the Magician card. We had the court cards of the Page of Swords, the Queen of Swords, and then the Knight of Wands and the Knight of Cups. Before the read, the Page of Cups and the King of Swords also came up, along with the Wounded Warrior, or the Nine of Wands, which also can represent a person. The numbers in the code line were all about nature, and there's other stuff that came up in the numerology cards, but the one on the code line was nature, and very green and heart-based. And the numbers associated with that were 7 was the number of the day. It was the only number on the code line, and we had double 7s in the read today. Number 4 was significant 2, which is the energy of the Emperor, but also manifesting in a survival mode. And then 9, 10. 10 was significant, the Wheel of Fortune, the Wheel for the Better. Then 9, 10 begin again. And also the 1 came up in a lesser sense, which is the Magician. We also had 47, which is the 7 of Cups, the synchronicities, heaven in your eyes, and also choices, options, confusion. 710 also, which can be 71 with the 0 backing it up, which is the 3 of Pentacles, the co-creation card. 14 is the Temperance card, the angels and patience. And then 79 is the pot of gold at the end of the rainbow. And that came up in the read again as well, 79. And then 9, 10 begin again. And also 2, 3, 2, 1. So it's like 2, the 2 angels, and then 3, 2, 1, jump in, right? And that can be jump in head first, I was just getting. It's also 23 and 21 of the King of Wands and the World, culmination of the cycle, the Man of Passion, and the end of the cycle. So let's get right into this read regarding nature and the code line. What does it mean? The code line was simple today, and I didn't do any headers online. It was very interesting. It was about Jesus sees Mary Magdalene regarding the feminine within the masculine, or the chariot, the 2 ascending together, and God sees the transition portal. That's your nature. So however that you take that, because that can be taken a few different ways. It can be you are nature, but it's about Jesus and God both being present here to you guys going forward in your ascension process. Jesus sees Mary Magdalene, so this is the masculine seeing the feminine as she truly is, the feminine within the masculine, the chariot, and then God seeing the transition portal, seeing you both come through it, and that's also in the read today, also coming up as Jesus Christ, Sophia, Mary Magdalene, and Eve and Adam. All of those initials were coming up in the beginning of the coding. Receiving, basically, I was getting reserve or receive from Jesus and God to see the transition portal now open your nature. So it is natural for you to be open to these portals. Also, iron ore was coming up in this, as well as the mystery tour. And Jesus seeing the mystery in the feminine within the masculine, the chariot, which is also the number 7, right? The mystery number. And God seeing the transit connection naturally. So God knows it'll be fine. It's saying that God knows that the connection will be made, the chariot and going through the portal. And it's just confirming for you that this happens naturally. And this is as the masculine learns to see the mystery in the feminine, seeing her as she is, as part of him and part of the chariot in ascension. So we start this read with the 10 of Cups upright. The 10 of Cups upright is here. And then we have the Wounded Warrior here, the Page of Cups here, and the King of Swords there. Starting out the read. So here we go. Hang on for the ride. The happy family or cycle end after the Wounded Warrior, who's innocent, the King of Swords, reversed. And there can be reference to the Mary Magdalene energy there as well, with the Wounded Warrior, because MM and WW, they reflect each other. And then the Dark Knight, or Scorpio energy, or the Death Portal, transition, transformation, or ending. The Dark Knight not sleeping and rising above, or rested and awakened now to come out. A break in contract or commitment, or divorce, or Taurus reversed, or just being spiritual, alternative, and detoxing chaos, or Capricorn reversed. The Queen of Wands reversed with Hermit, with the light on her. Okay, so, or showing what she's doing as the Queen of Wands reversed. And the Dark Knight, Chaos and Detox, or Scorpio and Capricorn reversed. And the Queen of Wands reversed is not sleeping and tired, or tired of the awakening. And the Hermit or Virgo with light on Taurus reversed, or a divorce or alternative belief system, or the fall of the patriarchy. So a lot of different energies came up here. The Wounded Warrior is standing up for themselves at the full moon or at night, offering new love to detox chaos for justice, or Cancer upright, Capricorn reversed, and Libra upright. The Devil trying to get between true love and justice, and or Libra, or it's just chaos is in the way, breaking chains with ball and chain for new love in divorce or justice, or dealing with a Libra. Judgment reversed, no judgment or an announcement, no wake up or no call. Uncomfortable energies of the 7 of Swords, sneaking away or hiding the goods, lying, cheating, or stealing, and insecure without their tools, or manipulating now to get their tools back. Maybe they've been taken away from them. The eclipse energies, triggering a redo or a ghosting. The heat is on as sneakiness, tiptoeing behind the scene, and tiptoeing through the tulips just came up as well, while outwardly manipulative, and this was at 11:11. The heat is on as sneakiness, tiptoeing behind the scene, while outwardly being manipulative, so that's being seen. And then 35 and 53 were coming up here too, the reflection of each other. The 35 of the Wounded Warrior, the Mary Magdalene energy, it's also a very business-related 8 number. And then the 53 of the Catapult, the Knight of Swords, something suddenly rushing in or out. So at 11:12, which is Justice and the Hangman, a sudden appearance or disappearance happens. And then I got another cluster of numbers from the cards, the piles. And all of the Roman numerals canceled each other out to leave just X1 and 79, which is justice, and 79 for me is the pot of gold at the end of the rainbow. This is justice in reaching 5D. Release your X for the masculine, and beneath it was keep an open mind. Strength of big palms and big feet, tackling the boar or beast, and I was getting vigilante justice here, or vigilante justice. No judgment, where the judgment card was reversed here. No judgment, double X, which can reference an X who is an X twice. Poor judgment in not judging for yourself, divine masculine. Trans archer with bow and scythe. And then another cluster of numbers was coming up as nothingness because they all canceled each other out. Again, transgender, and this could be a female transgender, and I got confirmation at that point when I wrote this down, at 1119, which is justice and the sun. Someone not sharing or imbalanced or in debt or had been scammed or inequity of the relationship, of no peace, or death of one who was not accepted by others for who they were, right? Their true selves. The Queen of Pentacles reversed, perhaps, or one with bow and arrow hits their target, or just target practice. Vengeance, though, not love. Cutting out toxins, toxic partners, and poison apples. Or a woman who acts like a man, or who is a man inside, but is dark from never coming out. Follow your dreams came up for the divine masculine, which is 85, and beneath that was creativity, which is 3, the Empress. And 85 is the reflection of 58, which is that 4 of Swords card. So that's about connecting in 5D. So the 85 is about grounding the 5D into the 3D. So the sealed divine feminine in another world without her sunshine. Lovers are blind, but no. And the Queen of Cups is powerless to her divine warrior, no longer willing to be without him. Moving to peace, someone sneaking around at night at the full moon. Destined Knight of Cups, Prince Charming, to offer love to Cinderella, looking for peace. R2-D2 comes up here, as well as the R2, and we have a Route 2 train in our area, so that might be related for someone. Engines are pumping, springs and pistons, iron, ore, and gold. 3 layers of the story told. But as we all know, there's always a 4th quarter behind every action or fate. There is a plan, aware or unaware. It's all about intent, peace, and love. So under the pop top, or the main tent, is Jack in the Box. After Jack and Jill's fall, found a beanstalk to climb his way out of the nightmare before Xmas, as I'm losing my voice, and head to JFK exit. The frog into grass, making sure that boat has left and the coast is clear before changing back into the Prince, Knight of Cups, and offering his cup to the real one. Will the real Cinderella please stand up? And this was at 1141, Justice and the Ace of Cups, which is true love. So will the real Cinderella please stand up? As everybody gasps, and Cinderella is Rapunzel. After getting rid of or detoxing her stepmother and stepsisters out of her life, and we're not sure how, it's a mystery or mysterious disappearance. Then Cinderella locked herself in the tower, self-imposed prison, or self-imposed imprisonment to get through anxiety of the dark night of the soul. It took so long that her hair grew longer than ever before, lending her DNA strands to a gentleman to climb up and out of 3D story to the 5th floor bell tower with light, keeping energy clear and above board to be the guiding light of his plight and his sword, Excalibur. Guinevere and Lancelot, same story, alternate timeline. The Knight of Cups lives happily ever after in justice for all and all for one, insecure, releasing X without a peaceful place to be and trying to follow his dreams until she was gone for good, making sure she had left. In the recent past, his guidance reversed, learning to use his own guidance and GPS and not hers, leaving the Knight of Wands reversed behind, The Knight of Cups steps up to offer love to deep bond connection to 007, the King of Pentacles who took a ride with him in Mr. Magoo's roller coaster car after his passing to discuss inventions and getting past the guilt and shame of hurting his daughter. No peace for the King of Wands reversed until making good on his promise of love. In the foundation is reflection, or the Hermit with the light. Heartbreak, separation, or singing in the rain without lover, it's just not the same. An opportunity, invitation, or student of the gold coin, or earth child is on a quest for that big gold coin, the Holy Communion you can cash in for the Holy Grail, from the merry-go-round to the round table at 10:59, which is the 11th hour, the minute before the stroke of midnight. Will you marry me, he says. At 11:59, perpetually a stroke before midnight, so Cinderella never changes back, the Knight of Cups finds true emotional fulfillment through justice of truth and balance, and true love for self and reflection, allowing for insecurities to melt away along with lack of peace caused by fighting for justice. The central energy is the Page of Swords up to bat. The last time up before striking out, because remember, there were 2 strikes of lightning yesterday, the Ace of Wands reversed with frustration and a bit unsure that he can get it up, but then voila, Excalibur. The Lamb removes the DNA strand from the lion's paw, and the sword is removed from the stoned heart, as the Page of Swords says, "Look, Ma, by golly, I've got it. I see the light." The challenge being guilt and shame making him sad. He offers the truth as the Knight of Cups is rushing into the portal with the Divine Feminine at the 11th hour, transitioning together as the Hermit with light lights the way for the Page of Wands, her guide, and the Page of Swords, his. The Divine Feminine's heart with an offer of the Holy Grail without option, but holds back the big love as the King of Wands reversed, humbled, accepting her love a little bit at a time, but ever so gracefully, time to build up his immunity, his light body for consistent high vibration, especially at night and full moons when the dogs are out howling. The Fool is free to leap past depression and loss of hope, or past Aquarius reversed to the Nine of Cups, happiness and wish granted. The third one is the one that counts, right? That third wish. The Page of Cups message of love as the King of Pentacles with red cape finds the right words to express his undying love. Sick to his stomach, there ain't no sunshine when she's gone. The Hermit's services are now called upon, much needed healing. And then the mail was dropped in my mailbox right at that moment. It was 12:18, the Hangman and the Moon. The Dark Knight destined, King of Swords reversed, the fallen angel to find his way back to the Chariot, calling me to carry me home. Expedited shipping, now the Four of Wands reversed, moving and or ending a marriage at 12/21, which is the culmination of the cycle of karma from 12/21/2012. Moving or ending marriage, the Page of Wands is excited to get their wish with the wounded warrior down on one knee, a piece of her always with me, tiny dancer in my heart. And I got connection right at that point. And then the sun came out and the birds started singing, and it literally felt like a spring day. At 12:23, the Hangman and the King of Wands, the wounded warrior not expressing their feelings or energy exchange or arrows of love to the Queen of Cups because he's not telling. The wounded warrior to confess justice, divorce, or Libra's heart as the Knight of Cups rushes in to profess love, or twins' children join forces to bring their parents together, or while kids are distracted helping others, or the Divine Feminine is distracted by her kids, making a visit. The Queen of Swords speaks and reflects on taming the lion and loss of hope, or Leo and Aquarius reversed, or egotistical Aquarius reversed, or speaking on pride and depression, or pride and prejudice today. The Queen of Swords and Queen of Cups, one logical and reflective and one nurturing and loving. Pride causing depression and depression causing love and nurturing and getting your wish. You know, who would have thought? Clearly flirting with dangerous King of Pentacles, superhero with an innocent heart. The divine feminine without peace and suffering in silence, speaking her truth for all to hear, like it or not. Inspired to romance of the dark night and the sealed divine feminine in 5D world, destined to be left out in the cold together, perpetual olive or blueberry branch extended. Starting over in love, in debt, to the Queen of Pentacles reversed, third party perhaps, and soon as the Queen of Swords speaks again, presently standing up for the divine masculine's injuries and healing to become the King of Cups, the unconditionally loving man with the divine feminine, even with nothingness. Done overworking or aligning with the dark, the Trinity 8 equals 3-8, the Queen of Cups, the 3-step, the waltz, and the tango perhaps. The Knight of Pentacles offers the gold coin to the Fool with an open heart, free from prison and or anxiety, letting go to repair, fix, or mend, or make amends, or open to start over from scratch. Not working with guilt and shame, holding back feelings to receive clarity. And the Knight of Wands reversed, or about a player, listening in on the Hermit and Page of Wands to scoop them, or scam them, or play them again. The masculine sees himself as the Seven of Crystals, which is the divine feminine's heart in this deck, emotionally fulfilled there and leading the way on a journey, or leaving home for a journey to the E-Tower to blow her top, crown, or covers and take a swing at hitting it out of the park at 12:46, the Hangman and the Six of Cups, the children in the garden, and perhaps add to her epiphanies. Engagement came up here, as well as retreat and free yourself. It's time to take back control of your life. And Scorpio and Libra, both energies came up as the masculine or around the masculine. Around him, or how he is seen, is the Knight of Wands reversed, dumping emotional attachments, coming together at work to drop all his burdens, responsibilities, and or confess. Destined King of Swords reversed and Sovereign, destined to clear emotional closets, negative self-talk, and not being true to self at work, while Sovereign confesses all. Or clearing out or revamping the workplace for Libra, King of Swords reversed, to be single or with Sovereign, partner or grown child with no burdens at all. Or a player was played or falling short on energy, holding back their true desires. The masculine needs to clear blocks of the Knight of Cups, the tidal wave of emotions rushing in, destabilizing impatient Sagittarius or fallen angel in order to ascend and catch the next chariot, or in a bold move or travel. So nature comes up, but even more so for the masculine today was physical activity, compassion, forgiveness, love partnership, and adventure. The Hermit misses his flame. The worst of the pain is over for bliss. The Seven of Wands is rising above drama and flames to tango with the flame to create the heat out in the cold together. Destined, King of Swords reversed, or Libra or Sag or Cancer, King of Swords reversed here, fallen angel to ascend. The Knight of Swords, messenger of truth, or knight in shining armor, takes a leave, aggressively pursuing his truth, even though there's still post-war cleanup to do, or unable to return if he leaves. Done work or not working, the wounded warrior is breaking out of his shell, speaking for himself to connected divine feminine's heart. Rising from the ashes, twin towers to twin flames, which is the name of my CD if you're interested, for new life, the diamond in the rough, starting over, owing the Queen of Pentacles reversed, third party, with ill mother and secret out, or owing money to the Queen of Pentacles reversed, associated to a negative group, the Empress reversed and the High Priestess reversed, Taurus and Pisces, or old biddies who are negative energies. The Phoenix rising to a new life of the white tiger escaping from the fires and hounds of hell as insecure indigo or fire sign child, and that's okay. It's all good. And I start sweating profusely at 106, the Magician and the Lovers. Hanging out, performing, and now it's 107, the Chariot, or as the Emperor in control of the Ten of Pentacles, family, business, or legacy, where the worst is over And now bliss state coming in, and justice ringing, or Libra prevails, giving high vibration to wisdom and new perspectives, and the low vibration to the Emperor's control. Dream family bliss, truth and balance. Nature is the only true judge to bring balance here. The 10 of Cups, and then coming up here was the wounded warrior, innocent until proven guilty. Emotional culmination or ending of a cycle, or emotional fulfillment of justice prevailing at 111. The magician and justice. The 10 of Cups and hermit, or Virgo, and divine feminine's heart, played by Taurus reversed, guidance reversed, or Hierophant reversed, or a break in contract or divorce, or wanting spiritual fulfillment outside of the box. The Page of Swords challenged by the portal, death, endings, and the Queen of Swords and the Knight of Cups move or visit together, or end marriage to rise above drama and start a new life, out of the fires and into the cold pan of facing insecurities, all in just or due time. The 10 of Cups, Hierophant and or guidance reversed, and the Knight of Cups in love, the hermit with a message of light, and the challenge being the end, death, transition, portal, transformation, to move, visit, destabilize, or end a marriage. For the divine feminine's heart, the Queen of Swords, with Excalibur in it. Played by the Knight of Cups, or the Knight of Wands reverse played the Knight of Cups, or the Knight of Cups is leaving the Knight of Wands persona reversed or partner behind to rise above and transform the diamond in the rough, breaking out of the flames at 119, which is the magician and the sun, no longer blue or battered and bruised, now insecure indigo with unending possibilities. And Leo, Aries, Capricorn, and Libra all came up right there at the end. So there's your read. I hope you liked it, because I certainly enjoyed it. It was just 3155, which is the expansion energy of the 5 of Wands, and Excalibur, the truth of 55. So I'm going to pull you some cards and see what we come up with. Today being February 12th, 2020. Take a deep breath, you guys, for the best and highest good of all those concerned, watching today or at any time. The best and highest good of all those concerned, across all dimensions of time, space, matter, and realities, for the highest good of all those concerned. Clearing all negative energies across all dimensions of time, space, matter, and realities, and filling that empty space with only beautiful, divine love and diamond crystalline light. And so it is. All right, so from the Nature's Whispers deck here, let's see what we have. So what is the point of the read today? And you notice, too, the card that I pulled, this one right here, and that's the Gilded Tarot, is the 5 of Cups card, but he's just sitting there in prayer. And I didn't do this on purpose, but it's sitting between 3 candles, and he's praying. So it was pretty cool. Okay. All right, so what is the message here about this read? What do we need to know that we didn't get from the read so far? What was the purpose? All right, that was like half the deck falling out, so I'm not going to use that. Okay, how about we be a little more subtle? What is the message here? All right, there is this very subtle. They're being very subtle. This card was just a pinch above the other cards. Contemplation 29, which is that 3 of Wands being present to the gift of the moment. Okay, contemplation. Just be in that childlike wonder. And you have a lot of lion energy in this card too. There's 2 masculine lions and 1 feline. There's a person down here too. So there's 2 persons. They're both females. There's 2 female people, 2 masculine lions, but then there's a feminine lion as well. Right? It's like the odd man out, but there's 5 altogether there. So that's interesting. Because we're talking 3 and 5. It's the number 29, which is an 11, so which is justice again, and that very high spiritual vibration. But it's also about the 3, because it's the 3 of Wands, and then the 5, because there's 5 energies in this card, as far as besides the butterflies. And we were talking about the 3-5 and the 5-3, which actually was a number that came up separately from the read, in the read today. So again, that's the Mary Magdalene Wounded Warrior energy, and the catapult of the Knight of Swords rushing in with the truth. This card also wants to come out, which is the 21, which is the world and the completion, okay, which we had a lot in this read today. The fresh approach, and you notice too that again the colors are very similar. They're very much skin tones here today of humans. So I guess that's a message for us. It's about the humans, because that is our purpose here. So the fresh approach is about, here's that rainbow bridge, right? To not put a dividing line between, right, the emotions and the land, right, the land and sea, the emotions and the practical nature between you. Like, don't put a wedge between you. Just because someone's different than you or lives in a different way, you're still both human. You both still have skin, no matter what tone that flesh is. And Spirit's connecting with me. So fresh approach to contemplation, which is seeing a new perspective. And you see they're both very much in that contemplation or seeing a perspective. But this perspective has to do with the whole world. This is more about like a dream state. And this is like more of the reality that you're living in anyway. This can be from far away as well, looking down upon the earth. Okay, so there's a lot of different perspectives you can get from that. The underlying energy from this deck is trust in your own understanding as opposed to somebody else's. And that's 32 is the journey. And this is a little bit more purple in there. It reminds me of the blueberries. The color that blueberry stains is this color that it's reminding me of. Trust your own understanding of something as opposed to somebody else's, because it's your message, not theirs. And she's hovering high above to look down upon everything. So from her perspective, she can see a lot, but she can't see it very closely. And it's like using her mask as a magnifying glass, right? To look closer. To take off the mask in order to see the details of something. You know, like you do at the store when you're wearing your glasses, you take your glasses off so you can see a little bit closer, even if, you know, or vice versa. Trust your own understanding of how it works. And that's also bringing into the flesh the purple, which is the violet light, which has to do with using your third eye and your crown more, right? Ascending into the etheric realms. Okay, so that's that deck. And the 3 cards very much fit together very well. And since I brought this in third, I'm going to show you how they're kind of facing each other to bring it together. Or you could see it in this perspective as the underlying energy as she looks back in order to go forward with new perspectives. Oh, beneath that, I don't see this one very often. Beneath that underlying energy was gratitude and appreciation for the present moment. So I love this card. It's so sweet. 46 is that 6 of Cups energy. All right, so now the animal tarot. Oops. All right. Okay. Again, it's February 12th, 2020. February 12th, 2020. All right. Well, that one slid right off. 5 of Winter. I love that. A tug of war. The collie dog. Your current path isn't leading you toward the happiest possible outcome, so why not change it? Always maintain integrity and compassion, but be alert to hidden agendas of others. Okay. There's a couple other cards that want to be seen here. Okay. Queen of Summer. Compassionate, loving, giving, and psychic. The Swan. It's time of deep emotions and heightened intuition that you can trust completely. Be mindful you don't ignore your own needs while caring for others. Okay. So be very connected to your higher self. This is a very good time for that as we approach especially the quarters of the year. So we have the March 21st is going to be here before we know it. And I noticed that last year, definitely starting towards the end of February, going into March, it's like the month before the solstices and such, the energy really starts to come in. But it's saying don't forget to tend to yourself as well. Like, don't drain yourself on the behalf of others. So besides this one, the Five of Winter, the tug of war, right? So don't fight over things, and be aware of other people's intent toward you, because intent came up big time in the read. We also have Justice of the Elephant, which came up in my sand art that I told you about, and the elephant carrying the scales of justice, right? Because the elephant is a big guy, and the fair decisions will be made after all the evidence is reviewed impartially, right? So innocent until proven guilty came up during the read as well. Have compassion for others and try to see all sides of a disagreement. Okay. There's a butterfly in that picture too, right down here, which is kind of paralleling the way the frog looks in the grass in the reed, the frog that turns into a prince. So here's the butterfly, which is already transformed into the butterfly from the caterpillar. And there's actually a little birdie on the scales too, looking for some bird seed. So maybe there's a bird nearby that needs to be fed. So the Princess of Spring also came up here, energetic, outgoing, and optimistic and creative. The Monarch Butterfly, creative opportunities that you feel passionate about are fluttering your way. Personal growth and broadened horizons will spark fresh and original ideas. All right, so you might want to take a vacation or a trip, or just maybe just a day trip somewhere, right, to help give you a new perspective. And this butterfly, I took some pictures of a huge butterfly like this down the shore when I was in Ocean City. I don't know if it was last summer or the summer prior to that. So it's reminding me of that, so maybe go to the beach. Or maybe a new one. Like this is saying, you know, you can go back to the places you've been before, or perhaps try a new one. Go to a beach you haven't been to before that maybe has different colored butterflies. Okay, so these are these three together. We have these three that came out together. All right, so you can see them all together. All right, and then the underlying energy, and you see all the colors. We have the blue, the purple, and the maroonish color. And then this was the underlying energy, which is more teal-y, so teal swans coming up in this, okay? That's the underlying energy. And then you notice there's a couple crowns here. This swan has a crown on their head, and then here's the crown, okay? So maybe that might be something of interest for you to check out a trip with teal swan. Very interesting. So don't fight over the rope with knots in it, the red and white rope, and there's a ball in his mouth as well. I'm getting, oh, there's something about England going on here, because there's a tug of war with the elephant bringing justice to the crown. So it's definitely getting the UK. So justice should come to the crown, to the monarch, with the Princess of Spring. So the princess in the spring. So something about that. I don't know what's going on lately, but that's your message. All right, then we have, this is from Metatron's deck. All right, Metatron, you're up. What is our message from Metatron? Metatron. Okay, Metatron. Oh, that came right out. Conquering fear, start today. 17 is the star. And again, this came up for me before. Sandalphon, that very soft angelic energy came up here. Very sweet energy. So Sandalphon may be somebody to call on. All right, and this is somebody helping someone to get started, right? To not be afraid. You know, you always have to take your children in the first time so they can understand it. There's nothing scary about it. And then they're fine to do it on their own. Sometimes you need someone to walk you into it. Start today and conquer your fears, right? Walk through your fears. Don't jump off anything, but you know what I'm saying. And it's the star, about shining your light, not being afraid to expose who you are. And don't dim your light for others. This card also wants to come out. The cosmos mirrors you, as above, so below. Number 20 is judgment, right? So if you're being judgmental, it's saying that the cosmos might be judging you in return. So be patient with others when they're learning. There's a lot of purple here, so your third eye to crown energy is here, okay? And diamond energy as well. The 20 and the 17, being the star. When you are the star, you're used to being judged, right? Or you get used to it. You have to, right, create a thick skin. But saying, don't let it shut your heart down. And don't be afraid of exposing your true self. When you're in truth and love, how can anything really, take you down? If you're being honest and about yourself and who you are, then, and this card wants to come out too, because it's the diamond. It's saying the diamond is polished now. All right? It's polished. It's time to shine. Purity and innocence. Is if you're in truth and love, there's nothing that can truly go wrong, right? In being you. On the A, I'm getting gossamer wings. On gossamer wings. The underlying energy being the warriors of light, silver, and the 30, which is the union energy. And we talked about the union and Excalibur in the read today, and the full moon. And this is about the sword coming out of the deep depths of the ocean water. And the silver against the slivery moon. But it's full here. But I'm getting that, look, Ma, I found it. I see the light. From what came up in the read. Okay, so, oh, I was lost and now I'm found. It's making me want to cry. That's the message there. That you are shiny and polished. There's nothing you need to fix. Okay? And your diamond energy there. Just one more card from the energy deck. And then I'm going to go. It's just 4,700. Your dreams come true. Heaven in their eyes. Synchronicities. I'm sweating. It's masculine energy. From the energy deck. All right. So from the energy deck, last deck for today. These two wanted to pop right out. And then the underlying energy here is the 7th chakra, Archangel Uriel. So the crown, and the crown has been coming up again. Wear your crown proudly. Okay. Financial constraints coming up. 13 is the end of that. Okay. Endings and transformations of financial constraints. And this is the back of a truck opening. And there's a book in it. Oh, that's so weird that I see it. Perspectives. It looks like a truck, but it's also like a closet, right? And there's just a few things left, and there's cobwebs all over the place. So it's about, cleaning out the old to see maybe what you can sell, but transform, the nickel into gold. The end of financial constraints. You never know what you're going to find. And then the door to personal healing and happiness, 34, which is the 8 of Wands, expressing your feelings and energetic exchange, the arrows of love, and fast-paced communication and travel as well. To open your window, let the fresh air in, and the new perspectives, the rainbow, the dove, the flowers, the waterfalls, all the beauty within. Okay. Right? So don't look to your room to the same old stuff. Look out your window to something new, a different perspective, some fresh air. It's the spring. And see the ivy growing. It's saying also to bring the outdoors in, right? Right? Because you see outside here, but this is also outside. This is like the ivy growing up the side of the house. And then this is going inside your home to make it like your paradise. Not this, right? So brush up your home. And again, the 7th chakra, Archangel Uriel. And there's so much beautiful, like pink to purple light there of compassion and the etheric realms. Be proud of who you are. Your crowning moment. So these are the three energies for this card, this deck. And we have the woman holding a heart behind her. Okay, you put a lot of heart into this. So be proud of who you are. And the 44 you mastered. This is like graduation for mastery. You can also see it this way as the underlying energy. You've mastered. So now clean out into a fresh new space. All right, guys. I'm going to show you the cards and then go. Which is 5017, which is the 10 of Cups, emotional fulfillment, and the Star. Okay, 10 of Cups is the underlying energy, upright. The foundation is reflection. Recent past is guidance. The center is Seeker of Orbs, or the Page of Swords. The transition card, or death card, the portal, is the challenge. The other underlying energies here, sorry, it's a little blurry. And there's the crowning is the 4 of Wands, the 30. And there's that card I was telling you about, praying. Then we go across that 40 bridge and down to the Sage of Orbs, or Queen of Swords there. The masculine seeing himself as the 7 of Crystals, the Divine Feminine's heart. Around the masculine, or how he's seen, is the Adept of Flames, that was reversed. And then the block is the Knight of Cups, which is upright, right? He's scared of his own love, his own heart, his emotions coming up. And then look at the colors that came out, the greens to the blues to the purples. So much from the heart to the crown. And then ending up on the 7 of Wands, upright. The Ace of Crystals, or Pentacles, upright. The Strength card, which is the tiger coming out of the fire, the white tiger, upright. And then reversed is the indigo, which is okay. And then we end up with Justice there, as you see in the underlying energies of the numerology deck with the teal and the yellow. Okay. Okay. So that was a great one for me. I hope you liked it, guys. So make sure you drink your water, get your rest, get your joy in your nature, which is 5151 for the King of Swords. And rise and be love. Bye, guys. Have an amazing day.